The Dick Show.
This is one of those years, too, where the Bears might actually show up. Justin Fields, I'm telling you, man.
We got to pause for station identification. America! Fuck yeah! Oh, imagine the possibilities.
I've been riding Caleb Williams' dick since he was in high school.
This is a true story. All right, guys. Welcome to week episode number 5.
Duh, Bears.
He's riding the Bears' dick now.
The Bears.
Duh, Bears.
The 0-4 Bears.
Poor Bears fans. I feel so bad for them.
He's getting sodomized.
Oh,
I think,
man.
what is it? They haven't won since November of last year. Like, I saw a meme the other day that said, every professional sports team, including Major League Soccer, has won a game more recently than the Bears.
Right. There was
every team but the Bears.
There was a little short that I saw today that I meant to send to you guys that was the same thing. So a couple people talking about that. Like, do you remember the last time the Bears won a game?
No.
Nope.
Hey, before we get too in-depth,
Yeah.
we got to do it.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's time for the most important part of the show.
Let's go.
Oh, I think we
That was
synced those up
in sync.
too
That was pretty
much.
good.
That was
Might have been too
unison
much.
right
It
there.
sounded like one opening.
That might be like that might go into the opening sounds. You know what I mean?
All right, so I got a couple things I
When the
want to
mountains
say.
are blue.
I got a couple things I want to say before we fire this one off. Number one, we are recording slightly later than normal, so I might be not quite on my game
This is gonna be a fucking fun episode. That's all that
because
means.
I've been
That's all that
drinking
means.
tonight. Kelly, I hope you have been too.
Not really.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm just going to look like a buffoon.
I
over
gotta
here.
catch up then.
And number two, I want to say real quick, congratulations to my brother and his girlfriend for having their first kid.
Yeah.
Healthy baby boy. I'm excited to be a new uncle.
Gotta hit
And
that fucking cheer
and
button.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. no.
Yeah. That
I'm-
first
I-
one was
At least it wasn't wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah.
Yeah. No, but I'm excited to be a new uncle again because my stepsister has 4 too. So
Congratulations.
thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So where do we want to start, fellers? We
Wow.
got a lot going on this week.
We had some comments that people like when we start off with a Chris rant.
Oh yeah.
Where did these comments come from?
It was from down the street. They're
Right.
like, fuck, I love it when Chris just starts out bitching about
Oh, yeah,
something.
when Jeff said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm trying to think.
Do you have anything prepared?
You know, this week I don't actually have much to talk about as far as a rant.
Nobody pissed you off?
You know,
What about the, you got any text messages
So-
Yeah,
recently?
we
So-
need an update on that.
So
Yeah.
actually, I ran into said guy at volleyball last week, and I didn't even notice him at first, right? But then I saw him and didn't say anything to him. It was just kind of like eye contact from afar, that type of thing. Then afterwards, I did actually go up to him and I was like, hey, hey, good to see you. I saw that you text me. I never read it though, and he was like, oh. What? I was like, yeah, I saw you text me. I never read it. That's why I never responded. And he was like, oh, okay. And then I said, yeah, sorry. And then I just walked away.
Sorry, I just
Right.
don't care.
Yeah. So then a little later, like we're standing there and
So he's probably in his mind. So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah,
Right.
right.
so well, maybe not actually.
Oh, you shut him down.
Well, kinda, yeah. So then we're standing there a little bit later
You need to learn to be a little more direct.
dude, I try to be pretty direct, you
Who
know.
am I talking to?
So
Yeah.
so then I'm standing there a little bit later, and I was like, "Yeah, man, sorry again, no excuses. I just did not read it, and I just wanted to say though, like that group message, kind of weird though, yeah." And he looked at me like, kind of shocked, and I was like, "I mean, that was kind of weird, right?" And that was it. Then I just kind of walked off.
You had nothing else to say.
No, that was it. I left it at that. So
All right.
yeah, you know. As I get older, man, I don't really fucking care anymore.
No, why?
Because you know what? I do have something. You know what I really hate? I really hate whenever fucking people will like ask you a question and then when you start to tell them the answer and they just fucking cut you off and
And
start
don't
talking
care.
about whatever the fuck they're talking about. I cannot fucking stand that. Like, hey, Dustin, how's the weather?
I'm not.
Well, no,
answering.
you know what? Actually, it doesn't really fucking matter how the weather is now, does it?
It doesn't matter what you think.
Matter what you think about the weather.
Hey, have you guys been talking to my wife?
Oh my god, dude!
She does that to me all the time.
All the fucking time. All the fucking time.
Oh man, I'm kind of afraid to ask him any questions.
The
now.
fucking Giants. Okay, the fucking Giants, they suck. Goddamn horrible offensive line. Oh, this just in, the Seahawks fucking sacked Daniel Jones again. Right fucking now. That's how I feel. That's how I fucking feel.
Yeah, that kid. I can't remember his name, but he had a hell of a night.
Jesus, man.
Oof. I saw a post, like a Twitter or X or whatever you call that shit now. A post from somebody from the 49ers to the Giants saying something to the effect of, thanks a lot to the Giants offensive line letting the Seahawks end up having a career fucking night, and we had a hard time getting to Daniel Jones all night or something like that. I can't
Motherfuckers.
remember what exactly it
I don't
said.
understand how the fuck the Giants were able to make that comeback here in Arizona after watching shit like I've seen with 3 other games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because they were playing the Cardinals.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
fucking alopecia antelope, he out there killing it right now, man. He is killing it.
That's easy.
I'm gonna let this week go. He did not throw an interception.
No, man,
That-
he's
that-
playing,
yeah.
he's playing
but-
good.
That was
But
your
he-
metric. That was your metric.
That was my
If you
metric.
start turning the ball over. Yeah.
Let me tell you, you want to hear about my epic fuck up too this week? So I told you last week I had A-Chain on my team at Acne, A-Chan.
From Miami.
I still don't know how
A-Chan.
to say that.
I think
name.
it's A-Chan. I don't know.
I still don't know how.
But if I would have kept him on my team, I would have changed my team name to Jack A-Chan.
Jackie Chan.
Anyways, so I fucking cut him, right? Guess who has the number 1 waiver pick on this last week? Me. Yay, great. Good job.
Pick him back up.
No, because I fucking forgot to put my goddamn waiver claim in. Yeah, so guess what? I watched him go off again. Fucking again.
See,
Yeah,
sometimes
another top 5er.
sometimes fantasy football is just a little too involved for my liking. I've got a lot going on in my world that
I have 1 fucking win this year. My fucking team sucks.
that's your only job.
Dude,
It's
that's
fantasy
all I got.
football.
All I got is fantasy football, and I fucking suck at it this year. My bench players are doing better than when they're not playing, and then once I play them, they fucking eat a dick on the field.
They're scoring more points when he leaves them on the
Yeah,
bench.
seriously,
That's the
no
way
fucking
that's the way it
joke.
works.
That's the way it goes, man.
Oh, man.
Only shining star I have is the Cowboys defense, which pains me to say.
The only shining star you have is the Dick Show.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah,
And we didn't even introduce
that's what I was saying.
ourselves.
Speaking of which,
Son of a bitch.
That's because you need to put it in the intro. So
Like,
we
do
don't
we
have
need
to
a
do it.
script? Oh, put it in the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's like not.
what the dick? Put the dick in the intro.
No,
Yeah.
no, the intros. The intro's in the intro.
The intros.
But
the
then
intro.
it's not like
I like the way we do
organic.
it. I like
Yeah,
the way
I
we
like
do
the
it.
organic.
Anyways, who are you?
I'm Dustin. I'm
Yep.
the D.
I'm the shaft. I'm the C. I'm Chris.
I'm Kelly.
All right.
I'm
Yeah.
bringing up the ass end.
Boom.
And
Pow,
yeah.
right in the kisser. Pow, right in the kisser.
So you're good on the rants. You're
Mouth, I've got a couple more. I'm sure that'll pop out. I've been
okay. All right.
yeah.
So, funny story. Last night, go to my mom's dinner. My mom's house for dinner. We're leaving. Wife's hugging her.
Fresh in
I
from
hug
Canada.
her. She hugs the boyfriend, and I shake his hand. And she's like, "Well, you're not gonna hug him?" I'm like, "I'll take in a quote right out of my favorite movie, Step Brothers. I'm never gonna call that motherfucker dad ever, ever." And I said that right to his face, and I walked off. But everybody was laughing.
Until they weren't. Until the door closed, and then they looked at each other and went, "What just happened?"
No, and then I laughed later. But
All right. Well, so that was very direct of you.
yeah, you know,
I mean, there's a little.
I don't know where I was going with that story. But
There,
I was just,
I'll tell you where you were going. There's a nugget of truth to every joke.
that's
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah,
it's. I
gotta
told you.
reflect onto that for
I've,
a second.
I told you I've been drinking tonight.
That
Yeah.
that shit hits deep.
Yeah.
America, fuck yeah.
All right, guys. So where do we want to start tonight? What do we want to get into?
Man, I don't know what y'all thinking about. Hey, what do you got up right now? NASCAR?
I got NASCAR up right now.
Let's talk about NASCAR.
You want to go down
Yeah,
NASCAR?
let's get that
Let's get it
done and
All right.
over with.
Let's get it.
'cause-
Oh, Jesus, the fucking hater over here. Done and over with. I want it out of my
Over
life.
with.
Well, Chris copied my pick after hearing my explanation for why I was going to go down the Ryan Blaney and Ford path, with the Fords being good at super speedway racing.
Yeah, but you told me Brad Keselowski was a good pick too. And,
He was a good
What
pick
happened?
until he wrecked.
oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, he got caught up in a wreck.
Yeah, and
And that's the nature of super speedway racing. That's it's either winner or bust.
If you're not first, you're last.
Exactly. Yep. So
All right.
so Ryan Blaney was my pick, was also Chris's copycat pick. Ryan Blaney won the race by a mere like 16 hundredths of a second or something like that. That's not the real number. It was close. So that scored both Chris and I 50 points this week, and with Keselowski getting caught up in stuff, he ended up with only 15 points. So for the full year standings, that puts me out front by 10 points over Kelly, and Chris is 19 points behind Kelly, having missed a week, which is pretty good. Pretty good comeback you're
trying
working
to
on.
catch up.
That 50 points this week's definitely going to help with
Yeah,
that.
in
Yeah.
truth, I wasn't trying to copycat pick you. I actually forgot that you were talking about Ryan Blaney. I knew he was in there, but the Ford strategy, that was one of the big things that I was thinking about
Yeah,
for sure.
the Fords are they have something in their front and rear ends, both. They have it figured out to where they can push each other and not get out of shape.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chevys cannot hook up quite the same way. Toyotas are kind of in the middle. They can push a little, but not as much as the Chevys.
And Blaney-
not as much as the Fords.
Blaney qualified well too.
Well, that's also-
and that was one of the things I was looking at, was where they were sitting at after qualification. So qualification.
Are you guys talking about porn or NASCAR?
It's also
talking about back ends and hooking up. And
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, it's also worth noting that was Ryan Blaney's third win at Talladega in like the last 4 or 5 races.
Yep, and that was
something like
that was the big thing that I was looking at after looking at past winners, right?
Yeah,
Blaney had been, I think, 2 out of the last 4 coming into
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah, he's
So-
a very good super speedway. He understands it. He's kind of like, they always talk about Dale Earnhardt could see the air, could understand what was happening in the draft and when to side draft somebody and when not to. And he seems to get the modern version of that. The modern version of that is very different with these new cars. It's not what it was when Senior was doing it, but it's still there. It's still, they always talk about when you get up to somebody's bumper, it's almost like having a beach ball between the two cars. You can only get so close before it pushes them back out, and you can't get any closer. So if you have a driver that can see that invisible beach ball and understand it, they're going to do well at these types
Yeah,
of
you want
tracks.
to see that invisible beach ball? You eat some mushrooms.
No, but there was a lot of other high drama at the track this weekend. In the truck race, we had this is an opinionated take on my part, but Matt Crafton kind of opened a hole, and that was filled by a younger driver. I can't remember his name. I want to say it was Travis.
You guys
something.
are talking
Never
about
fill
porn,
another
aren't you?
man's hole, and this guy's
Yeah.
over here filling another man's hole.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, if you open the door to your inside just a little bit at a track like this, somebody is going to
Shove
stick
it
their
in.
nose in that
Mhm,
door.
They're gonna
And-
just shove it right in.
And Crafton, kind of came back down on him a little bit, ended up in a big wreck, and Crafton went back to his hauler, had plenty of time to cool down and even change into his street clothes, but then approached that driver after the race was over, and basically big debate between what you would call a sucker punch and a cheap shot, but punched him right in the nose, may have even broken it, bloodied him up, and NASCAR ended up fining him $25,000 for that, the other driver $2,000 for his involvement in the fight. So that was kind of wild, but I just, while we're on the subject, I want to ask the question real quickly. Do you guys have a different definition between sucker punch and cheap shot?
I was just, when you said that, I was just thinking to myself that I was gonna say, so essentially the same thing.
What's
right?
the difference?
Yeah, I mean, I would think a sucker punch is more from behind or more from a situation where you don't see it. Like I'd be looking to my right and you hit me from the left. Where a cheap shot could be like a hit to the nuts.
Yeah.
It could be, you could fish hook somebody. I could fucking give them the old raking eye move, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly,
Little thumb to the eye.
I mean, what do you think about that, difference-wise?
As long as you're the one winning, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, so I'll tell you this. In my opinion, a sucker punch is something you just don't see coming. And a cheap shot is something you just weren't prepared for.
Yeah, exactly.
So I look at it as if a sucker punch can still come from the front, if you and I, we're friends, we walk up to each other and you just walked up to me with
Just
a closed
fucking
fist and hit me
gut
for
punch you,
absolutely
just
no
gut punch
reason,
you,
that's still a sucker punch, even from the front. But if I'm getting out of my car at a track and I know a guy's mad at me and he's confronting me as I get out of my car, I should be aware that something's about to happen, and at that point, it's a cheap shot, not a sucker punch.
Yeah, debatable, because a lot of times racers don't go to that immediately. A lot of times they
want to
start
talk it
chatting,
out.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? They get in your
Let's
face.
talk it out.
Keep our helmets on. We'll push each other. We'll make it look real cool, and that's about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this happened in the back lot by the
Right.
motorhomes, not
Right.
This wasn't on TV cameras. This was recorded by people's cell phones. So
Hell yeah.
this was a deep cut.
That's the
let's
shit.
just say.
Yeah.
You know
They
what I
got
mean?
Deep in the cut.
Yeah. So there was that, and then basically kind of the same thing happened again at the end of the Cup race. Corey LaJoie was in the same spot. Riley Herbst moved up, left a little bit of a hole, and Corey filled that one, and same kind of wreck happened. But the difference is this one was on the last lap, 50 yards from the checkered flag. So in Corey LaJoie's spot, you can't lift. You've got to take that opening and make the most of it. And he ended up finishing fourth in the race because of that choice. It did cause a wreck, but you know what? To get P4, that's what you do.
Sometimes you gotta take another man's hole.
And the only
Rubbin's racing, Harry.
yeah. And then the other
Ain't
big
rubbing, you
news.
ain't racing.
Other big news that came about yesterday afternoon, after the race was over, or not yesterday afternoon, yesterday morning. Kevin Harvick, who finished second to Ryan Blaney by that 1600ths or whatever that number was, they vacated his second place finish because they found that he had fasteners in his windshield that had come loose or out completely. So in NASCAR's eyes, that was an attempt at cheating because not having fasteners means less drag on the windshield or something. However, they're justifying that. I mean, there are rules that state every bolt must be tight, this, that, and the other on every, So the Harvick's team said they are not going to appeal that penalty, but it cost him a second place finish.
So who gets inspected? Top 10?
It's actually somewhat random. I believe the top three all get more inspected than the others, but everybody else kind of gets a quick once-over, and then they pick two random cars from the field outside of the top three that could be sequestered to NASCAR's R&D center. And that has happened where they take a 20th place car and a 35th place car, and they find shit on them that they do not like.
So random, so not like a Triple H, you're on steroids, we're going to random test you, which he never gets done.
Right.
Or whoever. You
Right.
name your favorite wrestler here, right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Unless you're Matt Riddle.
So those were kind of the big news.
I don't think that's steroids, though.
No, that's like pills and shit.
Yeah.
So those were kind of the big news items out of the NASCAR weekend, and so now we've got next weekend coming up. We've got the Roval at Charlotte, so a road course. So be thinking about who's a good road course driver.
I don't think I picked Truex yet. That might be my guy. I'm not sure though.
That's a solid option.
Sort that by rank. I'll tell you who I took.
Sort this.
Down, down, down.
Just go up to the order by and then click rank instead of last name.
Oh,
Yeah, right there.
I see what you're asking for.
I see what you did there.
But keeping in mind these are points ranking, not specific to a track.
I think I
type.
took Chris Bell.
On this next race?
Yeah.
I'm going to wait. I like to wait till at least qualifying so I can see where everybody's sitting.
That's fair. That is fair. You can see my pick on the screen. I'm going to take Chase Elliott because I know he really doesn't want to go a full season without a win, and he's won this race before, and he's always really good on road courses. That's where almost, I'd say, a third of his race wins have come. So, yeah, I think that's a good option. But I would agree that Truex would be a good option as well. There's a lot of really good.
I was
road
thinking
course
Logano
racers.
too, man. Logano.
Yeah, or even a Michael McDowell
Yep.
and AJ Allmendinger.
Yep.
There's a lot of guys that are really good. Even Ross Chastain's good on road courses. So there's some good options there. So anyway, so that's the Roval. It's coming up this weekend on Sunday, and that'll end the round of 12, and we'll eliminate 4 more drivers and start the round of 8.
Getting
right.
exciting.
Yeah, getting to the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Dick Show.